and so depressed and unnecessary. Either you do it or you don't. Anyway, back to you, Alex. Sorry.
Thank you, coach. We'll fix it. We'll do it. Um, well, as you guys see, it's not even the details. It's the commitments, the expectation. It's the way we. I say, it's the way we build, develop our leaders and people. And as somebody, once you have expectations, you don't pay attention to anything else but the flow of how things supposed to happen from licensing to going to the field and making a commitment, to hit the goal. In this case, the GX. And with that being said, we're gonna switch a little bit in regards to how, together as a community, we can give you support to increase your licensing. But again, my advice to you is, we offer, the option to people to study license, but if there is no commitment, and when I say commitment, is hey, schedule your test, open camera. We don't want you to be on licensing program if you don't not willing to open camera, so we can see that you're taking this serious. Like it's not just logging into, because many of us run Zoom meetings, but Zoom meetings are not effective unless people sit sit down and open a notebook to take notes, to write something. And the moment you see that they do that, there's a chance you can help them make money and build with the business, with the system. And that's why, it's crucial that whatever tools we provide, that you use it properly, meaning properly mean that there's got to be an expectation. It's not just here we give you licensing class, but no expectation. Come on, it has to be an expectation. Here you're licensed, but no expectation. You've been licensed. So why you want to be licensed in our business? Why you want to be licensed in our system when there is no expectation? Again, we don't have quotas. We know that, but we have expectation. That's usually how I say it. We don't have quotas, but I have expectations. You see, here's the difference. And lastly, now that we're about to go into convention, I have expectation not just to grow to another level, but I have to make commitment with those who are going to convention. Agenda is very simple. I think it's if it flows. If you've seen it, I
Yeah,
went
I
over
gotta go
this
up
morning
to.
with a group, and I said, look, this is what Thursday is for, leadership meeting. This is what Friday is for, and this is what the gala is night for. I prep them mentally for the gala night, meaning that hey, pay attention to this because this is where you compete. Pay attention to the number one recruiter. Pay attention to the number one producer. Look at the numbers. Even if you're brand new, that's how I grew in this business. For the first 5 years, they never called me. My name is never on the list, but I keep looking at it. I keep watching, and I said, next year, I'm going to come back stronger. I'm going to be in the list. I didn't get in the list. And then I keep going my third year. And by my fourth year, I keep watching the list because I keep watching the number. And then I said, man, hopefully they call my name. Maybe, because it's already my fourth year in the business. And I'm praying that they call my name, but they never call my name because I don't have the numbers. But I looked at it, I said, next year, finally 2010, I start coming out with top S&D base, top, recruiter, top producer. But I've been looking at this since, 2005, 6, 7, 8, 9. And now, but nothing. But on 10, on 2010 now, finally. But listen, what I'm trying to say, it doesn't have to take you 5 years. Because I say, look, next year you can come back and be stronger. And then 2011, I start getting higher. And I said, why not being, top 10? Finally, until 2013, I was top 10. As a matter of fact, not only I was top 10, I was an MVP for the year because I keep playing at the higher level. And that's how I explain, how you attend gala. It's not just attending, but it's paying and it's connect to that, award. It's like the Oscars. They don't give Oscars just because whatever. They have to have some ratings. They have to have something in their belt, whatever they do in order to get an Oscar. So similar, ourselves. It's not just that we put a number, it's work. So I looked at it and I said, Saturday, look at the day, look at the hours. Very easy to follow. 9, be there an hour early, hour and a half. 6 p.m. we're done. By 1 p.m. we finish. It's very simple. I think it's very clear, very, very direct. But it's not about the details, it's about the mindset. It's the mindset. Every workshop, every meeting, including the gala, it's crucial. And I connect one to the other. So when they go there, they're not that lost, because I think when you look the agenda, it's easy to understand, but it's the purpose of every section that we have, especially if you've been there before. You understand what I mean by every section is connected to the next, and make sure you help people, especially new people, understand how important each session is, especially gala night, in my opinion, especially gala night, because that's where they learn how to play. That's where you become a little competitive with yourself, because at the end of the day, you're not competing with nobody, but with yourself. Make sense? And man, even before I go there, I'm already excited about it, because I say, hey, whether they call me or not, I'm here to win, and I'm here to play big, and hopefully, my name come out. But obviously, I follow on this every day, every week. So I think I'm there. But still, I want to get more people win with me together. That's supposed to be the mindset of this leadership group. And with that being said, I want to open up for Raquel and Fran. They're doing a great job. I heard they're starting now a licensing program to support the entire community. In our Spanish speaking, we have this available. We've been doing it for the last, I believe, 20 years, but we're strict. We have expectations. It's not just, get in the class. No, I said, number one, you have to have a schedule for the test and prove it to send to us so we look at it. Number two, you have to have an open camera for the class, and you have to be not in driving, or you have to be taking the class. We have to see that you actually taking the class, and because of that, we would double our number from 1,000 to 2,000, and right now we try to get to 3,000 licensing. So I'm excited that now we have also, English group supporting this, but we had to use it not only with respect, but also with collaboration, because I'm sure they're going to require some collaboration for some of you to support this and make sure we increase our licensing as a leadership. The ideal way is to have a lot recruit with a lot of license. Make sense? I don't think you want to have a small recruit number to license small group people. My idea is I still want to go big on recruiting to go big on licensing. It's not just, I want to recruit 10 and license 6. No, I want to recruit 100 and recruit and license 60, 80. I want to recruit 1,000 and I want to get 700, 800. That's supposed to be the mindset for what is about to come now. Big recruiting with big license to big GXs. Does that make sense? So with that, Raquel, Frank,
Hi,
please
hi,
share with us.
Arlex.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, Arlex, you fired me up. You know, um, what you're sharing just before we go to licensing, my nephew shared with me this quote this morning, and it's so in correlation with what you just said. This is a quote from the soccer player Lionel Messi. And he said, I started early and I stay late. I start early and I stay late day after day, year after year. It took me 17 years and 114 days to become an overnight success. Right?
Right.
So all of a sudden people see you winning, but they don't see, all the years you showed up and you look for your name, nobody call your name, right?
That's
So
right. 5 years. 5 years it took me to get to the stage.
so love that you share that. I think it's important, for a long time, coach has been talking about, our intention to when we recruit, right? We can either recruit to recruit, which is for the shirt or the pin or whatever. We can recruit to sell, right? And we can recruit to build. And of course, I think that is the intention here with all of us on Titan X. Last week, Swan talked about, the licensing workshops. And, I had shared with Coach that, Rob and I have been doing it. And, we see the number of licensed people definitely increasing. And we see that that's something that can be helpful. So we talked about it last week. Frank got on it right away. The very next day, we had a conference call with several of the WSB leaders. And we want to share with you today what we have come up with, and hopefully you guys will plug into it, because I think, um in order for us to be able to really move WSB, we have to do it together, right? One or two teams doing it separately does not make any big difference. But when we come together and we pool our resources together, we are better. And I think, Arlix, you see that too, right? It's not just one team and your team that's doing the Spanish licensing, right? It's you guys do it together as a team. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so there are no requirements as of right now that WSB put on people, right, in terms of whatever. But you as a trainer, you as a leader can discuss that when you recruit people. So if I recruit someone, right now it should look like I recruit you, of course, with step ones, level one, level two, level three. In fact, when we recruit people, I tell people it's a proc, because we don't know sometimes what state they're in. We might have people in multiple states. So I say, hey, it's approximately $500 to get your license, and it's approximately $1,000 to maintain it. And I can't run a hot dog stand with $1,000 a year. So give me a break. It's nothing, right? Um, and then of course we show them the level one, level two, level three, so they can know what it really is for their state. We sign them up right away for Excel or whatever it is that you're using. And then we would schedule the date. So in the past, we would schedule the date. Since we started doing the classes, right away we schedule them. We tell them when we have our licensing class, and we get them registered for that. So now what we have available with WSB, if you all sign in to your member dashboard, and if you go under workshops, you will see there's a new tab that says licensing workshop new. So you click on that, and here are the workshops. So I'm going to explain. So we have, let me start with Tuesday first. So Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, and then whatever that is for your time zone, we are teaching life at 9 p.m. Okay, so 6 o'clock for Pacific time. Then on Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern or 7 a.m. Pacific time, we are also teaching life class. Please, in the block of time, we ask that they give us about hour and a half, 2 hours, because the intention is to do the flip chart that WSB has available, but then also take them through some questions and answers as well. Okay, but not a lot, maybe 10. Then on Thursday morning at 10 a.m., we also have health, annuity and health. And Thursday night at 9 p.m., we have annuity and health. So we have 2 morning opportunities for life and health. So either Wednesday morning and Thursday morning, or if they're not available in the morning, then they have 2 evening opportunities. That's Tuesday night and Thursday night. Hey, and if they're available in the morning and evening, then they can attend all, whatever they want to attend, right? Morning, evening, whatever. And then on Sundays, for 2 hours, so whatever your time zone is, 6 o'clock Eastern time, we are not going to do the flip chart. We are just going to go through question and answers. So Arlix, it kind of looks like this. So let's say today, let's say Saturday I recruit somebody. Or let's say Monday, today's Monday. I recruit someone today. I go ahead and I register them for whichever, Tuesday evening or Wednesday morning, whatever their schedule is, and then also for Sunday evening. So they have 2 opportunities to see life during the week, 2 opportunities to see health during the week, and then they've got practice exams. If they're a fast learner, they can be ready for the exam in 1 week. If they're a little slow, then they can be ready in 2 weeks. But I think if they're able to see that, then hopefully we can be able to recruit people, get them licensed faster, right? Get them a check in their hand within 30 to 60 days and off and running. So Alex, this is what we have right now. I know Frank probably wants to jump in and share anything, or anyone else that was on here, or if we have any questions, please let us know.
Hey,
And
Raquel.
of course, oh yes, thanks, Frank.
Uh, well, thank you, Raquel and Rob. Uh, we're leaning heavy on you guys at the beginning here to help us out with the class. We're we're going to learn a lot from Rob and Raquel as to how they're going through, because I know you've been very successful at it. There's a lot of leaders on here in Titan X that got on: Mia, Dewey, Kim Meng, and then we have General, a few other people that helped put this together. I think, Raquel, this is going to be amazing where somebody comes in. We know that we got the regular workshop for them within a week, 2 weeks, that we should be able to go through the rotation. And we should also go through the rotation of getting them licensed within a week, 2 weeks. So now we have a system to be able to do the workshop, system to be able to do license. So we'll be able, like Alex says, they'll be able to recruit a lot, but get a lot of people licensed too, with the right intention. Because I know that if we believe in and we have the right intention, we're here to get people to recruit and to get them licensed as soon as possible. So now we're here to recruit to build. Doesn't matter uh, if what our team thinks, but if we have that intention, eventually it will get down to our team to have the right intention. So, we appreciate you guys for leading this. So right now we only have like or at least a handful of instructors. Like Arla says, we need a lot of collaboration. We need more instructors. So if you're on here and you're in the US and you can teach the licensing class, it's let me know. Just text me or message me, and we can be able to put you on. We'll have a instructor um, Zoom call this week, so go through everything. The flip chart of the slides like Raquel was talking about, that's WSB slides. That's the one that Alicia did a year ago with the life and the health and the annuity too. So we're excited about that. We're just using what's available to WSB already, and then we can just have it where it's systematized. All right. So if you can personally text me, or text me on WhatsApp or whatever, but not on here, because then I won't be able to get everybody's name. Okay, and I'll miss some people. And so we'll go from there, and maybe we'll start out with these just these different times and days here. But I foresee, well, maybe within the next few months, 6 months, Raquel, we might have it every single day, where if we have enough instructors, that we can have these licensing workshop on a daily basis, like we have the regular workshop. So I'm excited about it. We're jumping on board. We're working hard on getting everything finalized and everything correct. I know there might be a couple of mistakes or glitch here and there, but we're working with Justin. And we appreciate Justin from WSB working with us to get us the link, get us the logistic, making this happen and putting on the dashboard right away. So very excited about it.
Alex, Zui here.
Go ahead,
That's
Zui.
wonderful. Go ahead, Zui.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Hey, real quick, can I piggyback off of Frank and Raquel and Rob? I was listening in Rob's licensing class, And, you know, there's two types of teachers. The one that teach the information, make sure you understand everything A to Z, which you and I, everybody on this call know that most of the stuff that when you take the exam, most of it's not even in real life situations. I love the way Rob teaches the class because he is there to teach you what to look out for, what to pay attention to, and he's teaching you the process of elimination because his number one job is to help teach you to pass your license. The licensing workshop is not designed to teach you to become a life insurance expert guru 101. This is not the class for it. This is why, you know, all the instructors, if you plan on being an instructor with us, we ask and we want you to get on, listen to the way. And the reason why I'm saying it's Rob, because Rob and Raquel's been running this for a long time. Also, the WSB Latino team has been running the workshops, licensing workshop for a long time too. So to me, I just want to duplicate whatever works and not create anything new. So if you want to be an instructor, because I know a lot of people love to teach, but the problem, the challenge is that we love you, but the challenge is that we don't want you to go in depth and go into the knickknacks of whole life and all the scenarios, and which only like 5% of it's on the exam or 4%. So we want to make it more efficient for your team member to pass the exam, because all it really is understanding the main concept and process of elimination. So I love the way Rob teaches. And if you want to be an instructor, why don't you guys put a little time, jump in, listen to the way he does it, okay? And then from there, you can make your own call on it. And you say, hey, Dewey, you know what? I love the way he does. I can do that. Then you know what? We love for you to teach with us because we do need more help. But if you're an instructor says, no, 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 man, I'm a PhD and in life and health, and nope, 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 can't do it that way, then you know what? It's okay too, because you can run your own course on your own with your own team, okay? But this is WSB, this is a national cause, so we have to be very wide opening in what we look for. So let's stay systematic. The workshop for financial literacy, it's been running so good. I mean, it's an incredible workshop. And I believe, Frank, that if we do the same thing apply the same concept and training skills on the English workshops to the licensing workshop, oh my gosh, we can pump out so many licensed people. So here's my closing statement. If WSB Latino can teach people who don't even speak English pass a license in English, guess what? There's something that's going on that's right. Bottom line. Okay, so I'm excited about Frank, Rob, Raquel, Mia. Thank you, all of us, for your support in all this. Okay, and of course, Alicia, for putting up the whole workshop together. Okay.
Especially Alicia for putting all of it. And, you know, I apologized to Alicia and Swan that, you know, we weren't more vocal about talking about the success of it. You know, we did not create anything new. Dewey, you were there, you watched, Rob did the slides, right? The same slides. But, you know, I think there's also another take to this because I don't know, but sometimes we do have team members. So in the past, if you're not teaching licensing, do you ever experience where you recruit them, you get them signed up for Excel or whatever it is you're using, and then you don't see them again? Or they come to the office or whatever, but they're forever studying for license and you don't really know if they're studying for license, right? So we don't really know. We kind of lose control. For me, I feel like we lose control of that part of the business. So this is number one, taking control back, right? Because we get an opportunity to, you say you're licensed, you're studying, but which class are you on? Which one? I don't see you on any, right? Um, Number two, it's also a way to keep them engaged. Keep them engaged. And I think Alicia and WSB staff did a great job of not just putting licensing stuff in the slides, but also putting a little bit of the system, right? So we can remind them of the system. And, maybe we can end every class with the 8 bubbles or something like that, just to remind them that it's licensing is important. Absolutely need to get it out the way, but it isn't everything. So we are looking for this not just to be licensing. I mean, it is like the most boring thing to talk about. Okay. However, I think that there's a place there in that building process and retaining people and developing them. So, and I know Rob wanted to share something.
Well, there's not much to say. You guys said it all, but I think the biggest thing is to remove that fear factor. Do it like we do everything else. We simplify it, whether it's IUL, whether it's an index annuity, we simplify those things. We're doing the same thing with licensing. The goal is to just make it so that the fear is removed from them because they probably haven't taken a test in 30 years. And then they, oh my God, I got to take a test. And what are people going to say if I fail? And who cares about that? Look, it's simple. It's easy. You just have to go through it and not be fearful of those questions that they're going to ask you. And it really does create that level of comfort to be able to say, you know what, I can schedule it. I can get this done because now I see it, because in their mind, they may build it up to be this, oh my gosh, it's a, licensing test, and that's got to be hard and it's got to be difficult because I heard you talk about this, that, and the other in your presentation. We're going to remove all that. So it's, look, just come and get your license. Most of what you see in there, you're not going to see in the real world anyways. That comes through appointments and experience. But let's get the license done and not overblow it and make it a big thing. Let's just get it done, out of the way, move on.
Hey, Raquel, I just
Hello.
want to add, what I'm really excited about this is that, we all know, there's power, with big numbers, right? Like, I mean, we have so many of us here in the community, and we know we have so many trainers, workshop trainers that do the regular financial education workshops. And so now, we have a way where every single week we know, like 2 days in the morning, 2 days in the evening, I can plug my guys in, for a class or a health and annuity class. And we just know that it repeats every single week, and then by Sunday, after, a 1 week of reviewing, online and then doing their own reviews, they can have a final cram and then schedule right away, and I love that, we have, and I think that we should do this, where in the future, if we can give a feedback, let's say, for example, I plugged in, from my bay shop, or from my team, let's say, I know I had 5 people, right, that plugged in this week. And if I find out, let's say 1 week after, that, hey, this person passed the exam, let's give a feedback, and in that way, there's more people, that can say that, hey, it works, right? The way that, because we have the workshops, but then, one thing that we didn't do is that we didn't really give enough feedback that, is it really working? Who's doing it, right? Who are passing, who are, the SMD base shops, who have had a lot of, licensed teammates, because of these slides. So if we can have that, and that's why, on the registration, we ask for, identify who the SMD is, who the CEO is. And that way, we can somehow collect, a report every single month. How many, from our teams actually took those workshop classes, and how many, passed their license exam. I think, over time, we're going to have like a really positive report and feedback. And, it's just going to grow. It should grow, our license number, because of this. And again, thank you for the initiative of everybody. Here, of course, those that came together, and also the volunteers that are coming up now to help with, teaching the licensing class. It's overall, I think our goal, just like what Coach said, we have the recruiting number, but we don't have enough, that are, getting licensed, and this should help, solve that problem.
Hey, I'm just gonna jump in here, and not to toot my own horn or anything, but I just want to ask and confirm So Raquel, you're using my slide, and even our Lex for WSB Latino team, it's my slide that you translate to Spanish, and you're using that to teach the team how to get licensed.
That's right, Alicia. We translate material because, as Louis mentioned, is it's two things that are supposed to happen, right? Number one, make sure if you become an instructor, keep it simple. Keep it simple. Keep it to the main thing. Help them answer the questions so they can pass. End of the story. Number one. Number two, we use this licensing class as a recruiting tool as well. So even before joining, we let them know we do. Listen, we have here's how we call it, licensing department. That's what we call it. It's not just a licensing workshop. We call it a licensing department because it's like we have a specific department in the organization that takes care of this process of getting licensed. So that gives the new recruit confidence that they're joining a team that knows how to get people licensed. So this proposal right here, if it's used properly, you don't want to just, send a link to people and say register for class. If I was you, I would say I'm gonna register myself as a leader, as your trainer into our licensing department course. That these people are serious about you getting licensed, so you have to be serious as well. Does that make sense? And that thing, and thanks also Mia for saying about having stories behind. Hey, look, it's working, it's moving. In the next 30 days, we're supposed to have a few of you say, hey, look, I went from this many license to in the last 30 days to this much license. Because the more stories we have behind the success of the program, the more excited it gets. And lastly, I just want to share with you this because just want to prove you that it works because I monitor this closely. Like our licensing, just last year here, exactly on the month of June was 1,600. And then every month I pay attention if our number increases to now here. So we still about 1,000, rolling in 12-month period, which is good, but it's not good still because we're expecting to recruit 10,000 people a year. So if I recruit 10,000 and with this now support that I get in English and now we have in Spanish and we do it the right way, I believe I can get to half, even 40% or like 30% to 40% supposed to be normal, supposed to be standard. 30 to 40% of whatever we recruit supposed to be standard or licensing. And let me just tell you something about WSB and our leadership. There's other group candy companies that all they do is chase people who are already licensed because they don't have no idea how to penetrate the market. So all they're waiting for is for us to get people licensed so they can talk to the new people. And I let them know also that the moment you get licensed and you go into the public database, there's these people that all they do every day is look for brand new fish, like out of the water, like yourself, because they never call you before you get a license because they have no idea how to get to you. They'll never find you without a license. They'll only find you once they have a license. What about before? Because they don't even understand how to help people with financial education like we do. So in case you get that call, you already know. You've been advised. So maybe if you're an instructor, please say that into the class. Hey, once you're licensed and you go into the public database, there will be companies calling you and offering you everything, but they'll never call you before getting licensed because they have no idea how to get to you. And by the way, that system does not work because if it does, they would get a lot of people before getting licensed. And lastly, just in case you want to prevent your brand new license from being contacted, when you apply for the license, that's why you're supposed to have a license coordinator. And when you apply for licensing, don't put their cell phone number into the application, put your office branch number. So whenever they call the branch. They will never be able to contact your people directly, just in case. But you do say both. You say one, this company had no clue how to get to the market. And that's what I'm proud about our education also. And making sure I don't know, because sometimes when you promote workshops, you know how I promote workshops? I make sure they understand what's the purpose of the workshop. I say, workshop number one, I give them 2 points. What is the purpose? Create financial clear goals, understand how to build wealth. For workshop number two, understand how to manage debt, eliminates waste of money so you can hit those financial goals that you create on Monday. Tuesday, action day, where you start protecting family, where you start understanding how to build the right financial foundation. You go Thursday, now you understand how to become a smart investor by understanding, dollar cost average, by understanding traditional retirement plan. And by the time you go to the last workshop, you understand that taxation is important. You understand that having the right amount of money is important. And that's where you probably understand that making more money is part of your entire curriculum or the workshops. So the more I put that in my mind, the more I promote it the right way, the more people will get into the workshop. And now with this licensing, we got to promote it the right way, meaning that make it responsible. And trust me, that will get your business to another level, because every single recruit will be confident on getting licensed. And make sure you let them know that we know how to penetrate the market with our financial education. I just want to say that to clarify.
Alex, I think the more I listen to you, the more I see you master the system and how simple and just more simple and simple you've become in the last 2-3 years. That's probably why you have major explosion right now. Green jacket after green jacket after CEO after 1,000 license in a year and whatnot. Because I mean, I don't even know if I could have half the Titanex even tell me what is the sixth workshop. I think they know there's 6, but I don't think they know, what is number 3, what is number 5, that what is the summary of that. They know we have it, so they say it, right? Oh, come here, we have workshop. But to articulate the way you do, and just to go back to the licensing a little bit, I know I didn't talk anything lately because I didn't hear anything, so we had when we first come out with it, I know a couple base shops gave me some updates like, oh yeah, I did it for my base, it worked. But honestly, after the 2-3 weeks hype, nobody really said anything to me. So I didn't know that Arlex even translate and put into the Spanish side. I know Victor told me he has a monthly or a weekly one with his team, but I don't have any statistic. And um, so anyway, I'm not trying to say here to like, I need that ego boost or anything at all, but more so of that, I think what I see is because with lack of feedback, that's why I just said, okay, we're just going to let people, whoever want to use it, use on their own base shop, right? And because I did get a request right from beginning, can we do it as a mainstream for the whole WSP community, Raquel? But then I got the feedback that, well, if we do it organized, then people won't fast start. Like they'll wait for their team to attend on the proposed time rather than call the shot in their base. Like, hey, you know what? I just got 10 recruits over the weekend. Let me do it on a Monday night or something like that, right? So that's why we didn't say much. But I think just like GX program, how many ways that and how many times we need to sell GX program? Almost every day. Right? Every time somebody join, we talk about Veronica. Hey, you join, we want you to become GX. Hey, Ian, you join, we want you to become GX MD. And every meeting, you are celebrating who has just finished 315 and who become Green Jacket because they built 20 GX and who become SMD because they become GX6. We sell GX 1,000 ways, and we do it every day. And that's the same thing that we need to do when it comes to Titanex and when it comes to licensing, when it comes to, that's why I always love that that sentence from, well, I combine both concepts from Scott Harrison says the work that has no end, but also the Bruce Lee about the repetition, right? I don't care about the guy that does 10,000 different kicks. I care about the guy that does one kick 10,000 times. Are you selling licensing 10,000 times? The same kick though, right? The same slides or the same workshop, whatever it is. Are you selling workshop 10,000 times? Are you selling 3 circle, 3 box 10,000 times? But a lot of us, we just sell it 5 times and then we get bored and we try to change it, become 3 triangle and 3 circle or something like that, right? And always trying to think and then try to look into what is Arlex doing? What's so different? He must be doing something different, and it must be the Spanish team, right? But then before Arlex is the African team. What's the African team doing that we don't know, right? Before them is what's the Chinese people doing that we don't know? It's never the Vietnamese team, by the way. We haven't had a explosion in a while. Just making you all laugh because we're getting to the end of the call. But anyways, I just want to say first and foremost, thank you to all the people on the screen here, especially Frank and Zui and Kimmei. They have been running the workshop, the 5 every single day, the 3 times a day, like a well-oiled master machine. So I just want to appreciate you. I know you let that go from me. You took that over for me, and every Monday through Friday, 3 times a day, you can expect in US and Canada for someone to be on. I don't know how they did that to coordinate like 200 people in 2 country and 3 different time zones and all across this different state. But they do it, and they even meet every month as instructors to talk about what's going well, what we need to fix, whatever. So I really appreciate that on the WSP workshop side for financial education. And I'm excited to launch. I very well trust in you. You're going to be able to duplicate the culture on the licensing side. I want to commit to you that I will personally find 10 instructors for you in my team or in the net, Swan, Alicia, net team. And I think based on what the schedule you just showed me, about only 5 class per week right now. So, which is only 20 different classes. Right now, if we keep the schedule the way it is, we only need 20 people and they do once a month. Right? So it's not a huge commitment. I personally gonna find 10 for you myself in A team or in Swan Net CEO team. But I think that, if Ting Chu can offer 1 person and Kevin Tu can offer 1 person and, whatever, Victor Salvador can offer 2 person, whatever, we would have hit 20 people in a heartbeat. And, we would be able to deliver this. And like you said, Frank, maybe once we get some testimonial, we get some more instructor, whatever, this could be a daily thing so that you can literally recruit. I think there is a magic, Arlex, in that what I see your genius of having it predictable versus what we did the last 2 years is let SMDs do it on their own. There is a good thing to that, which is that if SMDs take ownership, then they can call the shot and have it make a more based on feeling, based off of what is needed for their team, right? But I do see an art in having it predictable so that, hey, I can recruit someone. I know there's a system help my team get licensed, right?
Hey,
So it has to go with both. Just like home BPM can't be only wait to the office, but also has to be sporadic. But that at the office you have it every Wednesday, Saturday. So that's what I see happening here.
so I think one of the things this will definitely do is lighten the load on the SMD builders, right? The ones who want to build a team, want a fast start, want to do a lot of things and get more licensed people on their base, right? Because as we heard last week, a couple weeks, there are SMDs who do try to do the classes themselves for a handful of people and end up being so busy with that they let go of the field work. But then of course that's really bad. So now they go back to the field, and then the licensing drops, right? So by doing this as a community, as we are experts in and we're so good at as a WSB, uh, it makes it so much easier for SMD up to the highest levels, including me and Arlex, right, to have a systematic way to get people to review. So having said that, yes, Alicia, we did start as soon as you gave us the PowerPoints. I assigned Nathan, my son, to do those classes every Monday and every like clockwork, right? Monday and Thursday back then. For I think he did it for a whole year, and then suddenly he was running for Green Jacket. Like I said, got busy with the base shop, so I had to move it over to somebody else, and then now and of course Georgette, who's always been doing our cram course, I will definitely call Georgette as one of the cram course Sunday night, because she's been doing this, uh, you know, even before the WFG or during the WFG, during being part of the business. So she knows the material very well. But the point I'm going to make here is this. Okay, so not to be a spoiler or a damper on things, but think about the workshops when we first launched, right? And how excited people were. And we were we had so much attendance, right, Frank, in the early days. And then now, of course, we are at whatever levels we are, not as high as when we first started. And so my point here is, if you hear Arlex, if you hear people who are excited about licensing, they are the master promoters, right? So we can promote in the beginning. The question is, can you keep on promoting, like Alicia was saying? And number two, can you monitor it? The problem we have in WSBs, as we were talking as coaches before, earlier on, is that we have an over dependence on WSB community. When we throw something like this, the tendency is to promote it in the beginning and then dump people there. You know the word dump, right? So instead of you just dump people, say, here's the link, go in there, and they do go in there, but you don't really monitor it, you don't really see the progress. So what's going to end up happening if we do it wrong this time again is just we just promote it in the beginning, get excited, have a few hundred people in the beginning, and then over time just see that go down. And I say that because I don't want it to happen to you. It's been happening to me, right? To our team. I've been having classes Monday and Tuesday, or at least twice a week, for the last, I don't know, 3 years now. From Nathan to even my daughter now, and of course Georgette. We have cram courses every other Sunday. And I saw the drop in attendance because people get excited at the beginning. It starts at like 50, then 40, then 30, then 20, then 4th of July 10, and then back to 20, then somewhere around we're plateaued at about 25 right now. So we're about half of where we started when we were really into it. Right. So I don't want it to happen this time around for licensing in the whole community. And definitely because you know what? I do have it. I've been having it twice a week, right, Mia? In our team. It's open. Uh and then I don't charge anything, of course. I just pay my whoever I need to pay, and then Sundays, every other Sunday we have it. So why are we not effective as a team in getting as many licenses as our licenses? Because of the lack of promotion, the lack of monitoring after putting people in there. I think we have to have ourselves as SMDs. We have to have a system of really not just putting people in there, but really tracking their progress, like Alex is doing a wonderful job of. Because if we don't, then it will be just the same thing. We'll have a great start, right, Frank, and then we'll just dump people in there and then not really monitoring their progress and still have the same percentage of licensed people. I I'm just talking very openly because this is Titan Next, but that's what I see in WSB. Our tendency is to be excited in the beginning and then to just put people in there, and then after a while, whoever signs up for it, and then that's it. We don't really monitor, we don't really keep track, and therefore we don't see it through. It's a process, just like Fast Start. It's a process, and I think that's really what I want to see this time, based on my own failure, I guess, so far in our organization. But I don't want to see that happen again, right? And I want to get really excited and get to where Alex is doing 1,000 new license net, right? Of course, he has dropouts like everyone else, but he's still adding more, 1,000 extra new, plus whatever minus whatever dropouts. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, and
Appreciate it.
I give permission. I think follow what Arlex said, that people got to have the camera on. They got to know that it's a interactive class. It's not just a like a traditional seminar from a licensing company or whatever. So I give you permission publicly. If they have the camera off, put them in the waiting list or kick them out the room. That should be a well-known, like when you're opening the workshop and have the Mozone slide, let people know, hey, when the class starts, camera's expected to be on. you're expected to be interactive and unmute or, whatever, type in the chat, stuff like that. Because if not, it just becomes like what Victor said, a dumb. And if you're an instructor, we all know that feeling. It sucks to teach to a room of black square, and you're just talking to one face or something like that. But if they're all on, we can see if they're understanding whatever. So we are more flexible on the workshop because that's for guests and we understand they just want to check it out. But this is supposed to be team member with the intention to get licensed in the next 10 days, right? So, we should have that high expectation from them.
That's right.
Alicia and WSB team, I know this is more for US, but I have been doing the Canadian ones. I've been doing it for a few months. And I just want to propose that if anybody wants to partner to coordinate the Canadian one, I can lead it. I have staff now that can support me, it makes my life easier. But I don't know if anybody, you can just reach out to me or however, if there's a procedure for coordinating it.